Jesus Christ. Okay, I should just leave this in the video. Hello everyone, this is Adam Noyes from Chopper Pilot 5, and as you all know, I fucking love Godzilla, the big G. In case you haven't gathered that, just look under my videos, plenty of me and Godzilla to go around. Anyways, for a long time, I've wanted to do a video sharing my top 10 favorite scenes to come from all three series. In case you have no idea what I mean by that, there is the Showa, Heisei, and Millennium series. Joining me here is a great friend who has an equal love for the big G as I do, Zazubaar. Welcome. Welcome back.
Greetings, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I mean, just stating in that tiny little opening, I have been wanting to do this forever.
I was thinking of doing something like this by myself, but now that I have someone else to do with me, it's even better.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like I'll have more to bring to the table here.
Yeah, I know, and especially how we have some like different ideas about Godzilla. This should make for an interesting list.
Indeed.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say my 10, then you're gonna say your 10, then I'm gonna say my 9, and you're gonna say your 9. We're just gonna go straight down the list.
Okay.
And then maybe in between, how would you like this? Maybe in between, whenever we say our two 10s, maybe we sort of discuss a little bit in between there, like why, or maybe we just talk back and forth, or something like, or I don't know. What do you think?
No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So I guess without further ado, I'll start with my number 10, and then we'll go to you, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
My number 10 is the final battle from Godzilla and Mothra, the Battle of Earth. Every Godzilla film, with the exception of one, Cough Godzilla's Revenge, has an amazing fight scene with all the monsters duking it out in one epic brawl. Godzilla Mothra, the Battle of Earth is no exception to this. The final battle between Mothra, Batra, and Godzilla is amazingly well put together and follows in the same shadow as the last two entries in the Heisei series. Godzilla looks BA, Batra's design is cool, and Mothra is, well, Mothra. There is a battle in the air and on ground. The wire works for Mothra and Batra are top-notch because they fly around and intertwine a lot. And Godzilla fighting them off looks amazing, with many dolly shots and high angles, making Godzilla look even more powerful than he would normally. One part of the battle that sticks out to me is actually a calm moment. It is when Mothra and Batra communicate. They look past their differences, join legs to fight the big G. It's well shot and perfectly executed, with Akira Ifukube's epic score accompanying it. Clearly, the special effects crew took their time filming this sequence, and it definitely shows. This is most likely why Godzilla and Mothra was the highest-grossing film at the box office that year in Japan, and the highest-grossing G Heisei film period. So there's my number 10.
That was the highest-grossing one?
Yep.
I did not know that. I've said this on your channel before, so I'm just gonna briefly say it. I gotta say I don't like that movie that much. But I gotta agree with you on that scene is really cool.
Yeah, I personally love the film, but I think it's one of the better ones of the Heisei series. But I mean, definitely any G fan, even if they don't like that movie, agrees that fight scene is pretty BA.
Yeah, I mean the special effects are just, like you said, they're top notch, and I mean it's coming on the wings of Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, which was a spectacle.
Yes.
And it's not nearly as good, but it's almost better. And I know that's weird saying because it was a year later, but it's either nearly as good or better.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean by that. Yeah, I mean in terms of special effects, one, this film had a higher budget, but
True.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for me, it's just an all-around great film. So how about your number 10?
Okay, my number 10. I wanted this to be higher on the list, but it's a small moment and a fight scene, so I wanted to save some room for more tender moments in the G series, which is funny given the series' reputation. My number 10 is the first fight between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla at the Foundry in the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. for nothing else, this scene is a perfect blending of two colors, orange and black. The Godzilla suits are really just, as much as I don't like that design, I love how they're shot. And it's really brilliant of the special effects team, and of course this is after E.G. Sabraia's death. So of course, we're missing his charm, but even then, the fact that they went to the detail of making the two look different, that they didn't just use the same Godzilla suit when Mechagodzilla was characterized as Godzilla, it really sticks out to me that they really paid attention to detail. And the whole fight scene is just an explosion fest, and as far as I can tell, all those explosions are real. And it's just really beautifully shot, and it's just an absolute spectacle to hold. And this is the Showa era. And the fact that this is something that I would say would look equally good if they put it in the Heisei era, it's really incredible. One of the best fight scenes of the Showa era. And that opening shot where Godzilla comes, the real Godzilla comes out of the ocean for the first time to face off against his doppelganger, is one of my favorite Godzilla hero shots in the whole series. The explosion occurs, he rises up, and just roars that classic Godzilla roar. It's really just a classic moment in the Showa series, and I can't say enough good things about it. Mainly, though, it is the cinematography and the music that carries the whole scene for me, and the choreography. It's just beautifully shot. So that's my number 10.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And Teruyushi Nakano, who replaced Eiji Tsuburaya, he was known by Eiji Tsuburaya for his explosions. He always did explosions. He loved explosions. He was like the Michael Bay in terms of explosions in Japan, except he was awesome. And yeah, I mean, he just loved making explosions. That's why in the opening of Godzilla vs. Megalon, it's frigging explosions. Explosions, explosions, explosions. The scenes that aren't stock footage. I just want to bring that up there. That's a great pick. I was really debating if I was going to put that on my top 10, but it's not. Yeah, that's a great pick. So, I guess I'll go on to my number 9.
Go for it.
The scene where they give baby Godzilla away from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
Oh,
wow. Following in the footsteps of its counterparts, this film is just amazing. It is full of characters that are believable, a BA-looking Mechagodzilla, and a very entertaining monster fight at the conclusion. But that is not what I'm here to talk about. The scene where our leading female character has to leave cute baby Godzilla behind so that Godzilla can take it as one of its own is one of the most well-done scenes for a G film. The animatronics for Baby G are amazing, and you can clearly see in his eyes that he doesn't want the female character to leave. I almost felt her pain because of how the movie portrays their relationship, not so much as a mother-son relationship, but by showing the chemistry that they have. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. The scenes earlier with them playing and Baby G with her shoe in her mouth always puts a smile on my face. And when the scene comes along, I always feel for both of the characters. Then Baby G runs away and hides from Godzilla, which makes the scene even more heart-wrenching to watch. Then, at the same time, comes Akira Ifukube's saddening score. Many associate Ifukube's scores with to be bombastic, epic, or nationalistic, and those are great. But I personally find his quieter, gentler music to really be his best work. And this scene clearly is no exception. The choir, the piano, and the violins just add to the somber tone of the scene. Adding all these up, it's a great scene to a great movie. So that's my number 9.
I absolutely love what was done with little Godzilla in that film. Easily the best portrayal of having Godzilla have a son. And again, you're right. Akira Ifukube, he just really gets you into the moment, and I don't know what to say. It's just really great, and his music could carry an entire movie. It really can. He's my all-time favorite film composer, and I don't think that will change. His music,
I know a lot of people complain that one of his faults is that he recycles a lot of his own music, but for some reason, whenever he does, I always feel like he does something new with it that makes me still want to listen to it. And so...
That's true.
So yeah, he's just... I mean, that's not the only reason why I like this scene. What they do with Baby Godzilla is awesome. They treat it sort of like comedy-wise, but not like so in your face just for comedy. Like, it has a purpose. Why Baby Godzilla is the way he is. And Baby Godzilla truly is a character in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
I completely agree. And also what's done with Rodan is surprisingly good.
I know, yeah, that's really... surprisingly good, what they did with Fire Rodan. I love that.
Yeah. Also, you're right, that whole last fight scene is really incredible. And that's my favorite Mechagodzilla design, and it just looks massive. And seeing it be the only weapon ever devised by humans besides the Oxygen Destroyer to kill Godzilla was just really just a powerful moment, and that movie was more than just a Monster Mash movie. It was something more.
Yeah, and you know, this movie's not nostalgic for me, so just the fact that I'm saying that I like this movie without the nostalgia factor says something about the film.
My number 9 is I have a lot of hero shots of Godzilla on this list. I'm gonna say it right now. Early on, before someone notices it before I say it. My number 9 is the scene where Godzilla rises from the dirt in Mothra vs. Godzilla. I mean, just wow. It's one of Godzilla's most original appearances, and just the build up to it. The Geiger counter starts clicking. People start. The woman notices. I forget her name. The woman notices the dirt moving in the distance before we even notice it, and it just builds up to that tail bursting through the dirt. And everyone just panicking because they know exactly who it is. And then we get the spines coming up. It's really just one of Godzilla's most original, and the scene is just really memorable. And partially, I love how the Godzilla theme doesn't start playing until his full torso is out of the dirt. And it's just a really great scene. And that Godzilla suit is easily one of the best in the Showa series. It's a very popular fan favorite. It's easy to see why. I mean, just seeing it covered in dirt, it's just a really cool image. And partially because it is one of G's most original appearances. I have to say it's so memorable. I had to put it on this list.
Yeah, and you know, one thing that you didn't bring up, and I really want to bring up, and it's one of my favorite moments in terms of G characterization, is when all of a sudden he starts walking and he shakes off the dirt.
Yeah, I like that too.
I know that on the Classic Media DVD, the Toho Masterworks DVD, on the audio commentary they bring it up, and there was a huge argument between Eiji Tsuburaya, Ishiro Honda, and oh shit, who's the guy who plays Godzilla?
Oh crap. Haruo Nakajima?
Haruo Nakajima, who created it. Ishiro Honda said he did, Eiji Tsuburaya said he did, and Haruo Nakajima said they're both liars, I did. So, I just find that really interesting. Yeah, that's a great pick. I didn't even think about that one. Jesus, I didn't even think about that one.
That is, dude, again, partially nostalgic, but seeing that as a kid was just... Wow.
Oh yeah, that was the third Godzilla film I've ever seen, and just that image of Godzilla coming out of the ground, I mean, it stuck in my mind as a kid, and every time I watch that movie, which is one of the best G movies, period.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not my top 10.
Yeah, it is mine too. It's just an amazing, amazing, amazing scene.
Yeah, definitely. So you're number 8.
My number 8 is the ending of Son of Godzilla. Out of all the scenes to come from the Showa era for Godzilla, this is the most heartwarming. Godzilla throughout the film is a complete ass to Minla, even kicking him around and stepping on his tail so Minla can breathe his atomic breath. But after some great fun action scenes, this island begins to snow, and Minla can't walk through it. Godzilla turns and cuddles with the baby, perhaps to keep it warm so it can continue to live, and perhaps pass on his legacy. By far, this is one of my favorite character developments for Godzilla in the Showa era, for it does show that he has a heart and soul and cares for those he loves. The entire scene is accompanied by Masaru Sato's phenomenal score for the picture, which is one of the highlights. A corny film with an amazing kick-ass ending. What else can you want from a Showa-era G-film?
That too is a really great pick. And while I don't love that movie, Godzilla's characterization is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, just that ending. I remember that music. That it's really Masaru Sato's score is like really sort of jazzy kind of style, which that's the trademark of Masaru Sato. And all of a sudden that scene comes around and it's just like really calm, and it's almost like sort of like all of a sudden you can breathe.
Yeah.
And just sort of taking a moment, because, you know, to be completely honest, I posted a picture of it on Facebook, and one of my friends was like, I never knew Godzilla could be so sweet. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's by far, it's the best scene in the movie.
Oh, totally, I completely agree.
And I just really love that image of him just sort of walking back to Minla and then just hugging him.
Yeah.
And then they just fall asleep. I love that.
I do too, and yeah, it's really one of Godzilla's finest characterization moments, and it really enhances one of my statements I've made in previous videos is I like it when Godzilla's not just a big gun.
Right.
He's really a character, and he's not just there to beat the monster of the day. Like, I really believe he is a Megalon. He's not just a big gun to beat up the monster of the day. He really is a character who feels, and I won't go down the list, but John Carpenter in the It Came From Japan Animal Planet special on Godzilla.
Yeah. He
went down a laundry list of feelings that he noticed of Godzilla, and that scene immediately played in my head as being one of them. I don't want to go down the whole list because I don't remember all of it anyway. So,
yeah, I mean, I just really love that image, and it really just shows Godzilla. I mean, it works for the Showa era, that Godzilla has a brooding heart, but yet he still cares for those he loves, which in some ways I can say Japan is what he loves, because he always defends Japan. And so I always consider that as, you know, he always protects the things that he loves. And
that's true.
So how about your number 8?
My number 8 is also, this is a complete opposite of yours. Mine is a dark, powerful ending, and not that yours is powerful, but it's powerful in a different way. Mine is G falling into the volcano at the end of Godzilla 1984. Wow. I mean, I'm going to have a hard time not saying that at the beginning of every introduction here. For one, the score is amazing. It almost brings about memories of what Akira Ifukube did in the original Godzilla with his Godzilla Under the Sea. And it's really a very similar scene, except Godzilla doesn't die. But it's similarly scored, it's similarly shot. A lot of close-ups on Godzilla's torso, a lot of close-ups on Godzilla's face. There's one moment where he's walking up the volcano slowly to his inevitable encapturement, and that suit looks just like the original Godzilla suit. And it gives off a dragon-like impression, just like the original suit did. The ears match up right there. And then just that image of Godzilla stopping in front of the volcano. And we get a bunch of close-ups on his face. And then he falls in. God. And as much as 85 isn't as good as the Japanese version, Return to Godzilla, I really like Raymond Burr's narration. It kind of helps it once Godzilla disappears into the volcano. And sure, it's not there in the Japanese version, to my knowledge. Well, of course it's not, but I think it almost adds to the message that Godzilla is really just this force of nature that we created. Really great scene. I was originally going to put it higher up on the list, but I had other stuff I had to put down. But overall, just a great scene.
Well, yeah, that's a great pick. I gotta say, it is better done on the 85 than on the Japanese version, but on the Japanese version, the scene is still really tragic, but then all of a sudden, like, this sort of somber song starts playing after it, and it sort of adds. In my opinion, it makes up for Raymond Burr's great speech, or that, like, monologue that he does, because the song isn't very happy at all.
Yeah. And one of the lines that has stuck with me ever since I was a kid, this was the third movie I ever saw. And the the line, "We may be faced with a hurricane, a tornado, or a Godzilla." For some reason, that line has always stuck with me, and it's just